guys, welcome to By Design. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and install of the Gigabyte GeForce GTX 970 4GB GDDR5 memory. That was super hard to say. I hope you guys appreciated that. This is going to be the WindForce edition, and the reason it is called the WindForce is because it has an insane amount of cooling on it. You can see the in the back there, you can see it's got a massive radiator. It's got 3 fans, and it has 3 copper pipes that go through all those that radiator there. So just a monster amount of cooling. From other people, from reviews that I've seen of other people doing this, they've said basically this thing never gets above 64 degrees, and that is just a trial to get it that high. This thing is just a beast graphics card, and it is going to be a huge graphics card upgrade for me. I was using the R9 270X, which was also 4 gigabytes GDDR5 memory as well, but this thing is just going to do way better than that. This thing is just way better. Take a look at it here, guys. You can see the 3 fans on it here, and you can see that it is, it's actually, basically, it feels like it's going to be crafted or poured, whatever you want to call it, aluminum. And it used to be, apparently, they used to have it set up so that it was plastic before. So it's nice to see that they did upgrade this to aluminum for the fan shrouds there. And it is just, it is huge. This thing, for whatever reason, this graphics card actually looks monstrous. Like, it looks like it is super crazy long. You can see it's got an 8-pin and a 6-pin for the PCI. And it is just a, just a beast card here, guys. I'm so excited that I actually got this. I actually got this at a smoking deal. I'm going to call it a smoking deal for me, but we'll get into the actual ports here first. You can see it's got 3 display ports. It's got an HDMI port. It's got a DVI and a DVI-D and a DVI-I port on it as well, as you can see right there. Apparently, this card, you could use it for up to 4 monitors. I will not be using it for 4 monitors. I use 2 monitors, and even 2 monitors I find can get a little bit difficult to work with. Not so much, but 3. I have used 3, and I just basically took the 3rd monitor off because it was just too difficult to work around with it. You can see there's not too much else in the box here, just the PCI power cables, and that is pretty much it. It also comes with a disc. Well, you can see right here, it's a quick card here, basically a quick guide here on how to set up the graphics card itself, and then you can see that it comes with the software for it here as well. The software, there's nothing too exciting about it. I'm not actually going to do a software setup on this graphics card install here, but I will show you me installing this graphics card. I will do a little bit of taking the old graphics card out. Like I said, I was using the R9 270X, and you can see it's still in there. It was a great graphics card, and it worked. It functioned perfectly for me. Honestly, I did not really outgrow this card, but there was a couple games coming out, and the biggest reason behind me upgrading to the 970 GTX here was because it was basically a giveaway. This thing was $400 Canadian, which is a crazy deal Canadian. We pay a lot more for graphics cards up here just because the dollar right now is terrible, but it was a smoking deal, and it came with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which is a game that I'd actually pre-ordered anyways, and in Canada that game cost $70. So I had a pre-order for $70 for PlayStation 4, and I decided that I would just cancel it, take my $70 back, and basically get this card for $330 Canadian with the game if you take that off anyways. And that is just a smoking deal, guys. And that's, like I said, that's the main reason that I ended up buying this upgrade for it, because it is just too good a deal to pass up. Anyways, you can see the cards side by each here. There's not that much of a difference in size, although when you look at the Gigabyte, it looks way bigger. When you put the Asus R9 in front of it, the actual Gigabyte 970 is actually only about a ½ inch longer, so really there's not actually that much longer length to this graphics card when compared to the R9 anyways, the R9 270X. So we can see we're going to put it in here. I've got everything, pretty much all the wires and everything taken off that I need to, except for I realized when I try to fit it in that the SATA cable that I have there is actually going to get in the way, so I do have to end up unplugging that, and we're going to do that. While I do that, we'll zoom in so you guys can get a little closer look at the saber-tooth board here, and we will start putting this thing together. So again, another kind of side reason why I did decide to do this upgrade is I talked to my wife, and she's kind of open to the idea now perhaps of gaming with me. She hasn't been, she doesn't really game at all, but I'm trying to get her into it. It might be kind of cool to play some MMOs and stuff like that with her. So what I decided to do is I've decided to upgrade a couple parts and replace parts that I don't necessarily need to replace and give her the old parts. So what I'm going to be doing is replacing some stuff every now and again here, and I will be building her a PC with the older parts. And again, I say older parts. The other, the R9 270X is actually only, I think, 4 months old now, and I'm already upgrading it to the WindForce here, GTX 970 970. I wish I could have afforded the 980, but I think what's actually going to happen is I'm going to end up doing an SLI with 2 of the 970s, because just from talking to people, that is just a way better way to do it. I know there's going to be some people in the comments here that are going to say, no, that's not the way to do it. Get the 980 because it's way better, but 2 970s, from talking to the tech guys, it is the way to go. So you can see I'm just kind of plugging in some of the screws here again, just to make this everything kind of go back into place here. You can see I ended up, I love this case. This is the Roswell Thor V2 edition case, and I love that everything is so easy to work with here. You can see all the covers. I'm just kind of putting on some of the covers back again here, and you can see how handy it is to have. This is just a fantastic case. It's a huge case, tons of airflow able here. You can see I've got my liquid cooler there as well, and the actual door of this case has a 200 millimeter fan. That's right, a 200 millimeter fan. It comes stock with a 200 millimeter fan, and that thing just forces tons and tons of air through this case. Anyways, guys, we'll get back into the actual graphics card here and setting it back up. You can see I'm just reconnecting my CPU. You didn't see me disconnect the power to it earlier because I was trying to prime the system so it would be all ready and it wouldn't take too long with that. But we're reconnecting the power supply here. You can see that I did a pretty reasonable job, I'm going to call it, of hiding all my wires and doing wire management and all that kind of stuff, except for my CPU power supply. And the reason that is because I have an 18-inch I have an 18-inch power supply, and I need to upgrade it to a 24. I need to get an extra length so that I can actually hide the cables on the other side of the computer itself. And what I just noticed there when I was putting it through, my other graphics card, the R9 actually only had, or the R9 270X only had 2 6-pin cables for power. This one has an 8-pin and a 6-pin. So what I had to do is go back into my old Ultra X4 cable box. They basically, when you buy the Ultra X4, which I highly recommend, they are fantastic power supply units, guys. Definitely the Ultra X4, if you don't have one, they come on sale quite regularly on various websites. I got mine through Newegg, and it was a smoking deal. They are so easy to use. They come with a ton of extra wires, and it is just way easier when you're upgrading a computer. If you are just buying a computer that is just a natural setup, you don't need it. But if you are planning on upgrading various parts in your computers, get the Ultra X4, man. It is just fantastic. Anyways, you can see I'm managing to get the 8-pin through here, and everything is almost done here. I've got the 8-pin connected and the 6-pin connected, and the only thing, I'm just going to reconnect the main power supply to the motherboard here, and the only thing that I noticed is I ended up kind of trying to save a couple seconds of time, not even really that much, and I ended up connecting the SATA cable directly back through, and I was dissatisfied with it. I was kind of pissed off with it. It was kind of a lazy moment. I was like, let's save 5 seconds, and I ended up kind of going back on it and saying, you know what, it's not worth it. What I'm actually going to do is reroute the SATA cable back through the end, and that is what I ended up doing. I ended up taking the SATA cable, wiring it back through the back, getting a little extra extension on it, and then putting it around so that it's not actually touching the radiator cooling part. But that is all to this install, and that is all to this unboxing, guys. Let me know what you guys think about doing 2 970s versus 1 980. I know a lot of people are going to have a comment on that, but I figured for me personally, the 2 970s was the way to go. If you guys enjoyed this video or found it useful at all, it sure would help me a lot if you guys would click that like button. Also, if you guys have time, you can hit that bright yellow subscribe button just in the center there. That'll notify you every time I publish a new video. Thanks very much for watching, guys.